This is Big Rapids Cardinal football on Big Country 100.9, broadcasting from the Isabella Bank Sports Studios. Isabella Bank. Bank local, bank anywhere at one of 30 locations or online at isabellabank.com. Proud community supporters of Cardinal athletics include the Schuberg Insurance Agency, celebrating 75 years. Bader & Sons Company at greentractors.com. Johnson's Automotive Repair, serving the community with honesty and integrity. Sam's Disposal, your local trash man with a vengeance to rid the world of trash. Big Rapids Public Schools, award-winning schools educating our future. Paris Auto Sales and Service of Big Rapids, your Napa Service Center. Williams Family Medical, your local family doctor. Shane Strickler Farmers Insurance, downtown Big Rapids. Quality Car and Truck Repair, home of the 1695 oil change. And also sponsored by BigRapidsDailyNews.com. Follow Big Rapids Daily News on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now let's go live to the Isabella Bank Sports Studio with Riley Edwards and Coach Scarpelli.
We can't wait to bring you this game. Welcome to week one of the high school football season as Big Rapids hosts Central Montcalm tonight. I'm Riley Edwards bringing you this pregame show on Big Country 100.9 from the Isabella Bank Sports Studio. And sitting just to my right is Jeff Scarpelli. And, well, with everything that's happened over the past year, I think we have to start, Jeff, with what's new. Seniors leaving, but most of the core coming back for Big Rapids in a tough season that hasn't happened so often in school history. Just the sixth time they've finished with a record of one win or less. But this is a team that still has high hopes for this short season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every year you come in full of optimism, full of youthful spring and so on and so forth, you know. And there's really no reason ever to look down for the Big Rapids Cardinals because the next 5 to 6 years minimum, and that always changes, so it could always even get better than that. They have solid athletes coming through time and time and time again. So today we'll get a good snapshot of that, actually, with a youngster stepping into a varsity position. And I got full faith that Will Strickler can do a pretty good job for the Cardinals in the first half here. So it's always exciting. Last year was a letdown for sure, but it's also just got to put it in your back pocket and move on. And I think that's what Coach Seltzer and the Cardinals are looking to do. And one of the names that you just mentioned, Will Strickler, stepping in at quarterback to start this game. Some off-the-field issues for a couple of Cardinals who will miss at least this first half. But one of those names that's missing right now is Sam Alley, the leading rusher from last year's team. Had 740 yards on 151 attempts and 6 touchdowns on the ground. That's a big piece of this offense that they're going to have to figure out a way around tonight. It's always a new year, though. I mean, high school is really no different than I played some junior college baseball in my day, and it's the same thing. Every year, for the most part, every 2 years, you have an entire team turnover. So it's a constant next man up mentality for the Cardinals. And, I mean, they have other guys, too, that do need to step up this year in their final year. You know, you get someone like DJ Green Bay. He's got to be dominating this year. This is his year. I mean, he's got to step up. He's got to be a force on both sides of the ball. So there's different facets, different players in this game that need to do a little bit better than last year. There's no doubt in my mind that they will, even with a shortened season. Shortened preparation for the season. I was able to go and watch a little bit of practice, see guys like Will step in. That was day one when I was there, see him step in, but also see guys like Coach Pedigo working with the line, see guys like Coach Fricky working with the defense, and then even seeing the younger guys all working on some of the basics, tackling drills and whatnot. And, they look tiny, being freshmen, sophomores in high school, but they're going to grow into it. Coach Seltzer's got a pretty good head on his shoulders, and it translates down the line to these kids.
And another big name drop by you there, DJ Green Bay, 4-year varsity starter, 3-time all-conference. But let's take a look at Central Montcalm now. We talked about Big Rapids finishing 1-8 on the season. Well, Central Montcalm, a very different year last year. They finished 7-3, and that was after finishing 0-9 in 2018. Different coaching staff. Talking to Coach Seltzer gave a lot of credit to that past coaching staff for brewing some of those kids up. New coaching staff takes over. They go 7-3. They find their first playoff appearance since 2014 and their first record of over 500 since 2011. So this is a very different Central Montcalm team than Big Rapids is used to seeing in the past few years.
Yeah, the Hornets, for whatever reason, have had in a couple years where they struggled. They had a tiny team. They had a real small team. But when you watch them, like I get to on the gridiron, on the basketball court, and then on the baseball diamond, you see that the school's chocked full of athletes. It's just putting it together. In basketball, they have. In baseball, they did. Hopefully, not anymore. Hopefully, Big Rapids can, rebound from that. But, it's a school full of very strong young men. Last year, they just kept the ball on the ground. They ran it down our throats, and we really didn't have much of an answer for it.
I think it's a good time. It is a beautiful night here on the campus of Ferris State for the Big Country game weather update. It's currently 57 degrees. Really no clouds in the sky, and this is a beautiful night for week 1 of high school football. If you're not able to make it to the game, there's also streams available. Go to wwbr.com or get the free app for iOS and Android. Follow the game on any device, and also free live video with this play-by-play of the game on Facebook Live. Go to Big Country 100.9 WWBR Big Rapids page, and you can have a visual of what's going on along with the play-by-play that Jeff and I have here on Big Country 100.9. So a very exciting game coming up, and with the teams warming up on the field, we'll step aside for 60 seconds here on Big Country 100.9.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but they were wrong.
I can't believe my car's struck by lightning twice. Now it doesn't start again.
Thankfully, the NEPA-certified techs at Johnson's Automotive in Big Rapids can fix electrical systems and starters, so our hero can get back on the road quickly.
Wow, it's almost like a total recall. Thankfully, I don't have to be a running man anymore.
Johnson's Automotive, fixing all foreign and domestic vehicles. Northland Drive, just south of the airport, Big Rapids.
Home is where the heart is. Since 1903, we've called the heart of Michigan our home. When you bank with us, your money stays right here, invested back into the communities where we work, play, and live, promoting economic growth and community service. At Isabella Bank, we care about our community because this is our home too. Isabella Bank. Bank local, bank anywhere. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Auto Owners Insurance and the Schuberg Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work for you to insure your home, auto, business, and life. To keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call the Schuberg Insurance Agency, located in downtown Big Rapids today, for a fast, free quote. 231-796-5881. Go Cards!
Welcome back to high school football, and here on Big Country 100.9, we have Big Rapids hosting Central Montcalm here at Top Taggart Field on the campus of Ferris State University. I'm Riley Edwards. Just to my right, Jeff Scarpelli, and we have all the action for you of MHSAA Week 1, and it will be an interesting one. We talked a bit about these two teams and what they had coming into this game in the pregame show. Also, make sure to stick around for halftime. The Big Rapids Public Schools halftime report will have all the coverage there of that first half of play. But now it's getting down to time, Jeff. Everyone hyped up, going through many stages of emotions just to get to tonight. You see, they ramped up week 1 of the high school football practice season. They get shut down. All of a sudden, about a week before the first game, which takes place in technically week 3, and all of a sudden they're ramped back up. So instead of getting 3 weeks of preparation for this game, they get 1, and obviously both teams trying to make the best of it.
Yeah, and maybe last year was a little bit of a fire drill for this in week 1. The Cardinals started out very strong against Shepherd, and then through some weather delays had to replay the latter part of that game the next morning. So getting all hyped up, coming out, sticking it to someone only to have it shut down and then have to come back out the next day and do it again. It's like a condensed version of what's going on this fall for the Cardinals. So a couple of those guys have experienced maybe a tiny part of that, but I do know that guys like Will, who I was talking to yesterday, Jamal, some of these guys, they're just excited to do something. We were trying to get these guys out on the baseball field all summer long just to get them to do something. And kudos to the basketball court down by my house. That's been chock full. So these kids have been trying. Now they get to competitively play. So, yeah, it's very exciting for everybody.
And Big Rapids will get to bring their offensive unit onto the field first. They are back to receive. Back deep, Xavier Prince, running back, defensive back on this team. He's the lone one standing with his heels on the 10-yard line as the green and white lined up to kick. There's the whistle, the first one of the season, and it's away to the right. It drops at the 20 and rolls just out of bounds. A good decision by Big Rapids there, and that was Xander Prince who let it roll out of bounds, and Big Rapids will have some nice starting field position here.
The amount of times that I've seen that in the high school level is something else. Just kicking the ball out of bounds, it seems like such an easy thing not to do, but here we are. So, way to take advantage. Oh, are they going to re-kick it, though?
And now it looks like, Jeff, they may re-kick here as everybody on the field reforming, and everyone will go back. So, as we just mentioned before, it was Xavier Prince back on the 10-yard line. He's right back there, and they're re-kicking this. It's Brody Sleeper with the boot for Central Montcalm, as there's still 12 minutes up on the clock and no score here between Big Rapids and Central Montcalm. Shadows engulfing the field nearly from the end zone to about the 30-yard line where Central Montcalm stands for this kickoff is all behind the press box. So here's a short kick. That'll roll just to the 35. It'll be picked up by a Cardinal and a host of Hornets to take him down. It'll be first down and 10 from about the 43-yard line for Big Rapids. It was Jamal Strickland on that return, and the junior couldn't get any yardage out of it.
So I got to ask your opinion, Riley. What do you think of because it's an option, right, if you kick it out of bounds. So what do you think of the move to take the re-kick versus just taking it at, the 40?
Well, you never know what can happen on one of these special teams plays, and maybe re-kicking it, giving yourself another chance to get into some open field could be a choice, but that short kick to open this game took 8 seconds off the clock. 11:52 on the clock, first and 10 from the Big Rapids 43. All the Cardinals looking towards Coach Seltzer on the sideline, getting this play figured out, and there's the whistle from the referee. So in the gun, running back to his right, a man in motion from left to right. It's a handoff right side, and it'll be Gorchevitz who makes a move at the 50-yard line, moves up to the 45. He's into Hornet territory, and there on the first offensive play of the season for Big Rapids is the first down of the season.
That's exactly what you want to see. I mean, you got Xander Prince down there fired up as well, but Gorchevitz last year stepped up, I believe, because of some injuries. They brought him up from JV. I mean, he jumped right into this roster. He's got no problem hopping onto a varsity roster as a young man. I mean, he's strong. He can hit that hole hard. He's not afraid to take a hit. He's not afraid to deliver some punishment either.
So from the gun again, two running backs to his left, a wide receiver on both sides. Swing pass outright. It's complete around the 40, a couple yards up, and Strickland will get out of bounds. Grant Kidder will get out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Mark him down at the 38. That brings up second down and 5. So still no score. 11:38 left of the clock in the first quarter. And after two plays, a first down, and now a second down at about mid-range. 5 yards to go for the blue and white. They all simultaneously look towards Coach Seltzer at that sideline and now look down at their wristbands. The line gets up to the ball first, and here comes the backfield as Strickler in the gun has a running back to his left, has a fullback just in front of him to his right, and two wide receivers split wide right. It'll be a read option, and Strickler hangs on to this one. Some deep penetration there to start, and coming across was Caden Schoen. to make first contact, but about a yard on the play. That'll bring up third down. Running clock now, 11:15 left in this first quarter. And about 5 to go still. So the read option yields no gain. And Big Rapids taking their time on this first possession, gearing up for a big third down. Strickler in the gun. He's got Gorchevitz to his left, and that will be the handoff. Outright, splitting wide. He gets outside the hash to the 35 and stumbling forward. And he looks like he got this one, and that is where the referees will mark it. So that's a first down and 10 as it stands, and the chain gang now moving. So 2 first downs on this first drive for Big Rapids. It's now first down and 10 from the 32. 10:38 left on the clock. Still no score between the Cardinals and Hornets. Now both the offense and defensive units into those shadows looming between the 40 and the end zone. Strickler in the gun. Motions man left to right. And it'll be a quarterback keeper up the middle, and he's stopped about as soon as he gets to the line of scrimmage.
Second and 10.
10 minutes, 5 seconds left on the clock. And a pace from Big Rapids, making sure they're knowing what they're doing up there at the line, and having some conversations with Coach Seltzer before this game went on. He said that this was one of the best summers that his team had preparing in about 5 years. He said attendance was great from players, and he also said their main focus was mental focus, working through adversity. A lot of good first half from teams last year, and then they would fall apart in the second half. So getting past that, as there's a delay of game call on Big Rapids, and they'll move backwards. So not exactly the move you want to see if you're Coach Seltzer. Took a while to get that whole team up to the line, and now they'll move back 5 yards. So second down and about 15 to go for the Cardinals.
Second and 15.
They break huddle and go up to the line. Team that was 1-8 last season, looking to make improvements this year. Mentioned just the 6th time in school history that they've had 1 win or less, and that goes all the way back until 1955, about as far as we could find. Strickland takes a snap out of the gun, rolls right. There's a flag down. The throw was short of Jamal Strickland. And we'll have to see what this penalty is on. The incomplete pass would bring up 3rd and 15, but it will be a holding against the Cardinals, and they'll move even further back. Big Rapids had a total of 43 penalties last year for 407 yards. As the clock now ticks past 9, 8:54. It'll be 3rd and 15 for Big Rapids. Strickler standing in a sliver of sunlight. He takes a snap and rolls left. Short pass, and this will be good enough for nearly a first down. He connected with Austin Venix on the left side. A nice play-action rollout from Strickler, and that'll bring up 3rd down and short. About 6 inches to go, and 4th down. Last season, Big Rapids converted 33 just out of 100 first down attempts that they had. On 4th down last year, statistically, they were 9 of 25, punted 29 times, but they were well into Hornets territory. At the 23, the snap taken. It's a handoff to Venix straight up the middle. And that'll be enough for a first down, so there go the chains. Xander Prince, a sophomore wide receiver and defensive back, coming up big. Xander Prince, Grant Kidder, holding down the cornerback positions on this team, and now more of a spread look from Central Montcalm. 3 wide receivers right. Motion from right to left, the snap. It's a quarterback keeper, and DJ Green Bay eats him up the middle. And a play call that didn't go very far. It was Caleb Crooks, another quarterback and defensive back on this roster, taking the snap and trying to take it up the middle, but DJ Green Bay wasn't having any of it. 5:10 left in the first quarter, a 7-0 lead, and this may force the Hornets to punt. They're deep in their own territory. 4th and 13, ball's on the 16, and the punter is standing with his heels on the line of the end zone. Back deep to receive the punt is Jamal Strickland. Snap is good, and the kick is high, and it won't go very far. This lands at the 30 and takes a Big Rapids bounce and rolls nearly to the 25-yard line. That'll be down to the 26 in great field position for Big Rapids to start their second drive of the season. First drive, much longer in distance, ended up with a touchdown, and the kick was good by Alec Bowman for the extra point. That's how we got to the 7-0 lead. Now with 4:41 left in the first, Big Rapids has a chance to expand it. First down and 10. Ball on the 26. And here comes Strickler. Running back to his left, a fullback in front of him to his right. One wide receiver split wide left. Fullback in motion. It's a handoff to the right. And Gorchevitz will take it for a few yards up the middle. Make it second down and about 6 to go. 4:25 left on the clock in the first quarter. It's rolling away. Both teams keeping it on the ground in this first quarter. Saw a couple pass plays, and one of those ending up at a touchdown for Big Rapids. That was nearly 3 minutes ago on the clock. That scored with 7:03. Strickler in the gun. Gorchevitz to his left. And it will be a keeper. And just to the left and across the line of scrimmage, they'll give him a gain of 1, but there is a flag down in the backfield, and this may be moving back for the Cardinals. So a 7-0 lead for Big Rapids, 3:53 on the clock, and the penalty will go against Big Rapids. It will remain second down. So a long penalty here. They move all the way back to the 33-yard line. It's about second down and 17 to go. Clock starts again, and Big Rapids looking to capitalize. Two wide receivers split wide right. One in his lonesome to the left. That's Jamal Strickland. Full back to the left, and Gorchevitz standing in the gun to his right. Here's a rollout from Strickler. He throws deep to the left side, and it just drops in between Strickland and the end zone. A bit overthrown by Strickler, and that will bring up third down and long. So third down and 17. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 3:25 left. So first game of the season for Big Rapids coming here against Central Montcalm. Not a usual thing to start out against a conference opponent. This will be the first time since 2013 they've played a conference opponent in week 1. Last time was against Reese City. It was a 39-26 loss, and Big Rapids finished that season 3-8. As Strickler takes a snap, rolls out of the gun, and there's a whistle. That'll be a false start in Big Rapids, and a third down and long becomes a third down and longer. So still 3:21 left on the clock. And Big Rapids, who had a premier chance to score after a good defensive showing, and on half of Central Montcalm, a bad punt that kept them in Hornet territory. But they've moved back to nearly midfield. It's 3rd and 22 from the 38-yard line. So two wide receivers split on each side of the ball. Strickland stands in the slot on the left side. In the gun, it's a low snap, but maintained by Strickler. He's rolling right. He's got a man downfield. It will be dropped at the 10-yard line. A ball that hit the hands and popped out of Grant down in 22. Central Montcalm comes up with enough pass coverage to keep it a 4th down for Big Rapids. Ball placed on the left hash at the 38-yard line. Big Rapids comes out in their punt formation. There's one man deep for Central Montcalm. Fisher Hill back there to return this punt. And a rugby punt here, swing left, and the ball goes out of bounds. A decent punt downfield. And they'll give Central Montcalm around the 25-yard line. Nice little boot there by Justin Gorchevich. And the ball goes back to Central Montcalm. A quick possession to start the game for them offensively. But now they get another chance. Big Rapids started in Hornet territory to start their second drive of the game, and that Hornet defense came up strong. So 1st and 10, and they'll actually move this ball all the way back to about the 10-yard line. That punt went pretty far, but it's just about where it crossed, and they'll say the 10. So Olsen in the gun, a motion from right to left. Receiver in the slot. There's 2 left, 1 right. Motion again left to right. And a handoff up the middle, a missed tackle. And finally, the Cardinals bring him down. And that was Mitchell Harold on the carry, who got a few yards up the middle. Make it 2nd down and about 9.5 to go. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. 2nd down and 8. Ball now on the 12-yard line. 2:40 left to go in this first quarter. 7-0. Cardinals lead the Hornets. Olsen in the pistol, running back behind him. 3 wide receivers split out to the left side. Now motion from left to right. It'll be a handoff around the end and blazing through the backfield, making a tackle for loss. That's Jamal Strickland. We've seen him targeted on offense, and we've seen him come up with a couple tackles for loss in this first quarter on defense, and that's a great sign for Big Rapids.
My guy. That's my guy right there.
That's your guy?
Yeah, Jamal. Oh, that's my guy.
Well, your guy's made a couple nice plays on defense, and it looks as though he's going to get involved in this offense as this game goes on.
Well, he's a freak. I mean, the kid can jump out of a gym. He can jump out of a football field even. Last year, Will relied on him as a receiver. Anytime he was in trouble, just chuck it up. Jamal will bring it down. Kid's
3rd down and 10. Olsen in the gun. He motions his running back to his left side. He steps back, and there's a rush towards the end zone. Thrown back. It was a jersey tackle, and the throw goes out of bounds, and that was nearly a safety. Great penetration there by Kyson Storm Williams, and that'll be 4th down and 10, so nothing moving for the Central Montcalm offense. And the Cardinals will get their 3rd possession of the night with just 1:35 left on the clock in this first quarter. So in the punt formation again, Jamal Strickland back deep to return. He's just a couple yards behind the 35. The punt away. This is a much better punt. And Strickland will field this around the 50. He's down the left sideline, now cutting it back to midfield, and he will be stopped right at the 50-yard line. A good tackle on special teams there by Central Montcalm. And more specifically, Jordan Ralph, the senior, coming across in that punt formation to make that tackle and place that ball right at the 50-yard line. 1:22 left on the clock. A 7-0 lead for Big Rapids. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the 50-yard line. Ball set right on the left ear of the Bulldog. Wide receiver on each side. The snap is low, and it's kicked forward back into the line. Central Montcalm is pointing their way. The referee's also pointing their way. So a short possession to what could have given them an even bigger lead. All it took was one play, a booted snap, and now it's 1st down and 10 from the 48-yard line for the Hornets.
This shades of last year. Cardinals had a number of opportunities to put games away last year, but they make one mistake, and that's all it takes. in only 4 quarters. It seems like it might be a long time. Football game is pretty short. Make one mistake like this, you can turn the tide of the game. So instead of the Cardinals potentially being up 14-0 or even 9-0 with almost safety, could be tied.
Olsen takes a snap. He had motion behind him. It's a swing to the left, and this will be a big loss of yardage unless something happens here. And there's a throw. It was a reverse into a throw towards a 20 and brought down at almost a 5-yard line, and that one was dropped at the end of the play. No whistles blown, and they will say the ball goes to Central Montcalm. That was an interesting play there, and it looked like Fisher Hill, who came across on the motion, cut back across field, and slung it to Trey Chapin, the senior wide receiver and defensive back, who took it all the way inside the 10. A creative play that looked like it was broken in the backfield becomes a 1st and 10 in the red zone.
Wow. Just a playmaker right there.
Check the 1st and 10, make that 1st and goal. 7 yards to go, and the Hornets can tie this game up. Olsen in the pistol, running back behind him. Tight end from right to left in motion. It's a handoff up the middle, and there's that defensive front from Big Rapids. Making another nice stop. The handoff went to Preston Scott, and the tackle was made by Christian Ramsvig again. Clock running, 20 seconds to go in this first quarter. A 7-0 lead for Big Rapids. Another change of scenery for Central Montcalm as Preston Scott will leave the field along with Caden Schoen. A couple others come in, and Olsen will stand in the gun by himself. He's got tight ends on both sides, 2 wide receivers split left and 1 right. And those whistles you heard will end the first quarter. So the Cardinals come up with a big defensive stop, a touchdown of their own, but a fumble here at the end of this first quarter makes it interesting. The Hornets trying to score when we come back in 60 seconds on Big Rapids 100.9.
This just out, the average age of a vehicle on the road today is just over 11 years. That's impressive because it takes regular maintenance and solid repair work to keep
that was an
the vehicle
interesting
running
play.
well that long. At Quality Car and Truck Repair, that's what we do. We keep vehicles running their best for as long as possible.
For sure.
We're still changing oil, performing regular maintenance, and doing repairs on vehicles much older than that. Keep your vehicle in shape. Call Quality Car and Truck Repair, 220th Avenue and Perry, just west of 131, Big Rapids.
Your car's transmission. It can be your best friend or your worst nightmare. One day you're cruising along without a care in the world. The next day your car is about as mobile as a big old hog on a hot summer day. Thankfully, the Napa certified techs at Paris Auto Sales and Service of Big Rapids specialize in fixing and rebuilding transmissions. They'll make sure your car runs so smooth you'd think it was a pickup line from Patrick Swayze. Paris Auto Sales and Service of
Back with Big Rapids High School football, 7-0 the lead for the Cardinals over the Hornets, but Central Montcalm getting ready to try to shove it in here. There's a motion from left to right. It's a swing pass and stopped right at about the 2-yard line. This secondary for Big Rapids has come up and made some big tackles on the run support so far, and that one is no less. Grant Kidder in on the coverage there from the cornerback position.
When Riley, you're going to learn that I got more than just a couple guys on this team. Grant's another one. That kid hits you, you're going to remember it. All right, that's a well put together young man right there.
And maybe some mishandling from the officials here tonight. But usually when the quarter ends, I say usually and by the book, you switch sides of the field when the quarter ends. Well, that didn't happen. They got to run one play where they were before, and now both teams will make the trek from 1 2-yard line to the other 2-yard line. So that's what we're waiting on here. Still a 7-0 lead. And we talked about this season, talked about last season, finishing 1-8. Getting off to a good start here would go a long way. You look back at the 7 playoff appearances for Big Rapids in school history. 6 of those seasons have started off with a win. The only season that didn't start off with a win, that ended in a playoff appearance, was 2012. They lost the opening game to Reed City 14-6, but then they went on to win 8 straight games before losing to Chip Hills in the pre-district game 31-6. Chip Hills that season would lose in districts to Ogama Heights 48-27 the very next game. It's been a long journey for Big Rapids to get here. Not just Big Rapids, but all of high school football. But until recently, Big Rapids didn't know exactly where they'd be playing their games this season. Would it be all on the road? Would they have their own stadium? Well, just about a week before we're talking right now, the official word came out that it would be back here at Top Taggart Field with plans to move on to their own stadium next season as everyone walks from the 2-yard line to the other 2-yard line, and then we get another stoppage in play. So still waiting from that play from the 2-yard line.
It'll happen, I guess. Has to at some point.
They are Aubrey or Heights.
It'll happen eventually. Gives us time to give a big shout out to our game sponsors, including Farmers Insurance Strickler Agency in downtown Big Rapids. Sam's Disposal, flat rates, no contracts, no hidden fees. Call 796-295 today to start your service. And also Bader & Sons, your local John Deere dealer. Outstanding in their field. Find more at greentractors.com. Also, a big reminder that this game is streaming on wwbr.com or get the free app for iOS and Android. Follow the game on any device. And also, free live video along with this play-by-play on Facebook Live. Go to Big Country 100.9 WWBR Big Rapids page. Another motion from right to left. And this one will get out wide enough and into the end zone, just skipping across the front of that pylon. And Jordan Gross will get in for the touchdown. Another change of quarterbacks on that play as well. Cole Olson was not back there. It was Caleb Crooks who took the snap and gave the toss to the right side. A lot of motion involved in this Central Montcalm offense, making it a little tricky to dissect where plays are going to go for this Big Rapids defense. They got it started at the end of the first quarter, but they finish it just 4 seconds in to the second quarter. 11:56 the time on that score. The snap is down. The kick is up and off the right upright. So the Cardinals will maintain the lead. It's now 7-6 in favor of Big Rapids.
That could be big. Never know.
Could be big down the line. You never know when it's just going to come down to that 1 point. But still a lot of game left. 11:56 left in the second quarter. And Big Rapids getting ready to bring their offense out there. Didn't show exactly what they could do last time. Just one play and a fumble where Central Montcalm took over. But they looked extremely good on their first drive. And they've had some open looks through the air and on the ground.
For their dedication to our community each and every day. Thank you, Big Rapids and Mecosta County EMS and Big Rapids Fire Department.
So both teams on the field now. Will be Caden Schoen to kick for Central Montcalm. And back to receive Xavier Prince for Big Rapids. He's the lone man in the deep formation, standing at the 10-yard line. Schoen. Kick straight down the middle, and this one will be received by Prince. He's across the 30, towards the left side, breaks a tackle, gets across the 40 before he's brought down. A little fight for the ball. And maybe a little pushing, but nothing comes out of it. And that ball will be marked down directly at the 40-yard line. So 11:50 left on the clock in this first half. A 7-6 lead, Cardinals over the Hornets. It's 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. The light shining down on the field here at Top Taggart now. No dealing with any more shadows for these players. Strickler calls a man in motion. Kidder was the one in motion, and then all of a sudden, flags thrown by 3 different referees, and that will be a Big Rapids false start penalty, and they move back again. Mentioned the number total for them last year was 43 penalties that resulted in 407 yards. And quite a few here in just basically the first quarter. Now 10 seconds into the second quarter. So move 5 yards back, and Strickler's back out there. He's got 2 wide receivers to his left, a running back on his right. Kidder in motion from left to right. It's a handoff to Gorchevitz. He gets up to about the 35-yard line before he's mobbed by Hornets. That'll give them about a yard and bring up second down. So second down, 14 to go. Still a long ways to that first down. Clock rolling, 11:20 left in this first half. Wide receiver split out on both sides, fullback and running back. Standing to the right and left of Strickler. Couple of hard counts from Strickler. Now he backs off. Takes a snap. It's low. It's fumbled, but on top of it that time, and luckily for Big Rapids, is Austin Venix, who covers it and brings up another second down and long. Clock down to 10:50, and head coach Mike Seltzer steps a couple yards onto the field to holler out some plays to his offensive unit. Wide receiver out wide right and left. Fullback just in front of him to his left. He drops back to pass. It's across the middle, and it's intercepted by Central Montcalm. Another great play by Preston Scott, who comes across the middle from the safety position just to clean it up. And all of a sudden, Central Montcalm has that ball in Big Rapids territory.
Yeah, Will took a hit right there, too. I mean, you got to give the youngster credit. He didn't shy away from trying to make a big play. Took the hit, tried to complete the pass. That's just a learning thing right there.
He climbed in that pocket, too. He didn't escape as soon as it collapsed. He climbed up. He did take that big hit. He got the ball off, and unfortunately, it was left short. Looked like he was trying to find Jamal Strickland, but it ended up in the hands of Preston Scott and the Hornets. Olsen from the gun. He'll swing to the right, and all of a sudden, back across field, and a similar play as we saw earlier to the long pass, but about 20 yards east to west, but right back to the line of scrimmage, north to south.
David Miller was like, no. Just got to shut that down right now.
A lot of scrambling across, and these motion plays opening up a lot of room in the backfield, going from right to left and left to right. That time trying to reverse it again, and not as good a fortune as the first time. 7-6, Cardinals lead the Hornets. Olsen in the gun again. He's got a tight end on each side and a wide receiver on each side. Call Scott in motion from right to left. It's a handoff to Scott. He gets up to about the 45. They'll give him the 46-yard line, and that will bring up third down. It's about third down and 7 yards to go. They'll mark him on the 44-yard line. 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. Two wide receivers split right and one left. A tight end on each side. Olsen takes a snap. He's rolling right. There's penetration in the backfield. He throws, but he's hit. And that's popped up in the air. And they will say it touched the ground. That looked like it was nearly caught in the air by Trey Chapin. The intended receiver was Fisher Hill. He tried to jump up and catch it, went off his fingers, and nearly found a teammate, and it would have been a first down. But instead, it'll be 4th down and 7 from the 44. Stops the clock with 8:47 left in this first half. So after an interception, here comes the punt team again for Central Montcalm. They are in Big Rapids territory. And the kick will be straight. It'll bounce at just about the 20, rolls to the left hash, and it will be downed inside the 20, given the 16-yard line.
Hornets kick takes it down to the Big Rapids 18-yard line.
So Big Rapids getting the ball back with a 1-point lead, 7-6, and 8:40 left in this first half. A score would be nice here for them trying to get back into the locker room and coming out with a lead. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors of tonight's game. The Schuberg Insurance Agency, located in downtown Big Rapids. Your local independent agency, community-driven, policyholder-focused, education-based. The best rates of homes on auto, business, and life. So the snap goes left side. And it will be right around the line of scrimmage. They're actually going to give him a loss on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 11. 8:25. Clock still ticking down.
Loss on the play. 2nd and 11.
So it's 2nd and 11, ball on the 17. 2 wide receivers split right. Jamal Strickland all the way wide right. Got another receiver to his left. It'll be a snap and a keeper. Strickler gets across the 20 before he's drugged down by a Hornet. That'll bring up 3rd down and manageable here. About 3rd down and 7 to go. They'll mark it 3rd down and 6. Ball on the 22-yard line. So still two timeouts for both teams. As this clock rolling down. And if you're Central Montcalm, looking at that clock a little bit because of the way that Big Rapids has really paced their offense. They're not in any hurry to get up to that line. We've actually seen them get 1 delay of game penalty already. 2 receivers out left, 1 wide right. The snap, a quick pass, and that's Kidder on the outside. Makes a man miss. He's across the 30 and brought down. There's a 1st down. Stops the clock with 7:05 while they move the chains. He stopped just shy of the 35. They'll give him the 34-yard line.
The change down there looks like a Cardinal 1st down.
I don't know how you feel, Riley, but I don't think Will looks too out of place. He's made some mistakes a young quarterback would make, but that's to be expected. I don't think he looks out of place at all. He's not afraid. He's playing the game.
He's put the passes, for the most part, where he needs to. Now, the interception we talked about just a minute ago, very under pressure in that pocket and actually took a pretty big hit afterwards. So 1st down and 10 from the 34. The snap, handoff straight up the middle. Gorchevitz makes a couple miss. He's out to the sideline and falls forward to the 45-yard line in a flag thrown. Possibly a late hit coming in to end that play, Micah Johnson. And we'll have to see the penalty they give here. So some discussion coming here. And it will be a personal foul.
Looks like the penalties are going against Central Montcalm.
Micah Johnson was coming in late on that play and just made contact. So even after the 1st down run by Gorchevitz, they'll move the chains even further after the personal foul. Ball coming all the way in to Hornet territory to the 40-yard line. Strickler has his running back and his fullback to his left. Wide receiver split out on both sides. A handoff up the middle to Gorchevitz. And he didn't have a ton of room to run. Got just 1 yard of the play. Brings up 2nd down and 9.
We take a peep over at some of our other Facebook Live streams. Reed City over on Big Rapids Daily News. And then Chip Hills over on Y102 is actually 14-8 Warriors in that game. And then when we flip over to our Facebook Live feed for the Morley Sandwich Mohawks, nothing, Kent City in the Kent City Mohawks in the 2nd quarter.
On 2nd and 9, it's a handoff straight up the middle. Just about another yard, brings up 3rd down and 8, so chipping away here. So what you're saying is the area has some pretty close games, at least in this first half so far.
Yeah, and I think everyone knew that Kent City and Morley Stanley would be pretty close. Kent City's always tough for them in the silver. But I didn't think a whole lot of people expected Chip Hills to come out the way they have here. 2nd quarter, still 14-8. And it looks like the Warriors have the Coyotes deep in their own territory.
Strickler takes a snap. He rolls right. He's got a man across the 30. That'll be a first down. He connected with Austin Venix, who ran the crossing route and was wide open.
I mean, that's a throw on the run right there. That's a tough play to make. The only thing tough would be across your body coming to the near side of the field. And Will made that play look kind of easy. He's got an arm. I mean, the kid 2 summers ago in summer ball as a catcher, at one point he had a 72% caught stealing rate. So he's got an arm.
He's putting the ball where he needs to, and these design plays have the boots on him. He's making a twist, and he's rolling out to his right usually, sometimes across his body to his left. First down and 10 from the 29. This time a handoff to the left, and that was Austin Venix after his reception. There gets a carry for 1 yard. That brings up second down and 9.
As long as you get something. Just don't go backwards. No penalties, no negative yardage. Always get something. Because now you rip off 5-6 yards, third and short. Manage that as opposed to a penalty or something. And then you have, that's what killed them last year. A lot of, in the middle of a drive, they'd get to about where they are now, knocking on wood, and then they'd stall out with a penalty or two or something, so it becomes third and like 19. Can't do that. Just get positive yards, even if it's 1, 2, 3 yards a carry. We can live with that.
And a timeout called by Big Rapids. That'll stop the clock with 3:39 left as Coach Seltzer wants to consult with his team. It's another good time to give a shout out to some of our sponsors. Quality Car and Truck Repair, the area's only AAA service center, 220th Avenue, just west of 131 Big Rapids. Also, Williams Family Medical, your local independent family doctor in downtown Big Rapids, accepting new patients. Visit williamsfamilymedical.com for more. And also, Isabella Bank. Since 1903, Isabella Bank has been lending a hand in support of area schools, service, and civic organizations to make our communities a better place to live. Isabella Bank, bank local, bank anywhere, member FDIC. So a 7-6 score, Big Rapids over Central Montcalm here with just about 3:40 left in this first half. They come out of this timeout, they'll be facing a second down and 9. Believe it or not, we do have a crowd mic here at Top Tiger Field. Just not a ton you can hear. The players, coaches, and cheerleaders are all allowed 2 admittance per person. There's no band here. Bands are only allowed in areas that have been named level 5 MI Safe Start schools. Strickler takes a snap out of the gun. He's got the keeper to his right across the 20. He's going quick and steps out just before the 10. They'll mark him out at the 11-yard line. That'll bring up another first down. And Big Rapids getting close to scoring again.
Attaboy, Will. I'm really liking this. I mean, he's every now and then we get a big play, right? But other than that, we're getting 5-6 yards. You can live with that. Wears down a defense. They spend a lot of time on the field. And how much does that really matter? Because a lot of the Cardinal defense is on offense, too, in high school. But it does. It's a little demoralizing the teams. We're driving. Will's doing an excellent job. Just stepping right in here. Him, and he's got another young guy, like I mentioned earlier, Gorchevitz. He's got Benix back there. He's doing great.
From the gun, a handoff right up the middle. And there, as you said it, Jeff, Gorchevitz gets up the middle for about 5 yards. That'll bring up second down and 5. So just chip it away, using up this clock. This game has flown by. We've seen a touchdown pass from Big Rapids. We've seen a touchdown run from Central Montcalm. But other than that, offenses have had a hard time moving, but they've kept it on the ground. That clock keeps ticking. And another timeout taken here with 3:13 left.
Hi, everybody. I heard the moon was made of Swiss cheese.
Go the extra mile with Bader & Sons Company and the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. When other utility vehicles take a rain check, we help you take the wheel and enjoy the thrill of the ride. With factory-installed 3-wide seating, heating, and AC, the XUV 835 is our coolest, most comfortable Gator yet. Isn't it time you took a John Deere Gator for a test drive? To learn more, go to greentractors.com. From Southeast Michigan to the bridge, let the experts at Bader & Sons Company show you why we are outstanding in our field.
And basically erased another score. They had some momentum going towards that end zone until the ball ended up on the ground. So out of the timeout, Hornets back at the line of scrimmage. Olsen in the pistol is running back behind him, puts him in motion to the left. And there's Scott in motion from right to left. And the play whistled dead. And it will be a false start, so it'll remain first down, just about 5 yards back. 1:28 left in this half. Olsen walks back over to head coach Scott Kripe on the Hornets sideline. Gets a play and barks it out to the rest of his team. First down and 15 from the 18-yard line. Scott put in motion from right to left. He gets the toss to the left side, and there's a tackle for a loss. Another good showing by this Big Rapids defense, and that's Austin Manicky again.
Preston Scott on the carry. 75, Austin Manicky on the tackle. Cardinals. A little over one.
So that keeps the clock rolling. It's second down in about 18. We'll mark the ball at the 11-yard line. In the pistol again. Olsen puts his running back in motion. And there goes the end again. It's a toss right. And across the 15, he'll be brought down by 3 different Cardinals. You can credit Austin Venix with part of that tackle, along with Alec Bowman and a couple others. So 25 seconds. It's third down and 15. They got right back to where they were before that loss of yardage on the last play on the 18-yard line. 15 seconds left, and Central Montcalm will just call it right there. No need to run another run play this close to their end zone. And it's 7-6. Make sure you stick around here for the Big Rapids Public Schools halftime report. I'll be there. Jeff Scarpelli will be there. And, well, maybe, I guess. So we'll talk about what's happened in this game and maybe even some of those games around the area. So back here soon for the halftime report on Big Country 100.9.
Home is where the heart is. Since 1903, we've called the heart of Michigan our home. When you bank with us, your money stays right here, invested back into the communities where we work, play, and live, promoting economic growth and community service. At Isabella Bank, we care about our community because this is our home too. Isabella Bank. Bank local, bank anywhere. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Auto Owners Insurance and the Schuberg Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work for you to insure your home, auto, business, and life. To keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call the Schuberg Insurance Agency, located in downtown Big Rapids today, for a fast, free quote. 231-796-5881. Go Cards.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but they were wrong.
I can't believe my car's struck by lightning twice. Now it doesn't start again.
Thankfully, the NEPA-certified techs at Johnson's Automotive in Big Rapids can fix electrical systems and starters, so our hero can get back on the road quickly.
Wow, it's almost like a total recall. Thankfully, I don't have to be a running man anymore.
Johnson's Automotive, fixing all foreign and domestic vehicles. Northland Drive, just south of the airport, Big Rapids.
Go the extra mile with Bader & Sons Company and the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. When other utility vehicles take a rain check, we help you take the wheel and enjoy the thrill of the ride. With factory-installed 3-wide seating, heating, and AC, the XUV 835 is our coolest, most comfortable Gator yet. Isn't it time you took a John Deere Gator for a test drive? To learn more, go to greentractors.com. From Southeast Michigan to the bridge, let the experts at Bader & Sons Company show you why we are outstanding in our field.
Not everyone learns best in a classroom or has the time or resources to attend a school. If you're one of those people, the Big Rapids Virtual School is your path to graduate high school. The virtual school uses new and emerging technologies, allowing students to work towards their diploma anytime, any place, any way, and any pace. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week, students can access class materials, listen to lectures, complete assignments. Plus, the lab is available 39 hours per week where students can work and ask teachers for help. For more information about Big Rapids Virtual School,
Your car's transmission. It can be your best friend or your worst nightmare. One day you're cruising along without a care in the world. The next day your car is about as mobile as a big old hog on a hot summer day. Thankfully, the Napa certified techs at Paris Auto Sales and Service of Big Rapids specialize in fixing and rebuilding transmissions. They'll make sure your car runs so smooth you'd think it was a pickup line from Patrick Swayze. Paris Auto Sales and Service of Big Rapids, Northland Drive, just north of the airport. Schedule your appointment online at parisautosales.br.net.
Hey, everybody! Harry Carey here for Talk Trash. Our first guest is Ben from Sam's Disposal. So, Ben, why haven't you raised your rates in over 10 years? It seems to be all the rage now.
Well, Mr. Carey, that's a great question. You see, my father Sam always said...
Sam? Now that's a great name. I once knew a man named Sam Toothpick Jones. They called him Toothpick because he was curious like a cat. Say, have you ever seen the movie Son of Sam?
Yeah, actually.
It is a great show. Well, anyway, that's neither here nor there. Hey, Ben, tell me, how do you stay in business with flat rates without any hidden fees? Seems like all your competitors always stick it to you when you don't see it coming.
Now, that's another great question, Harry.
Well, that's the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us, Ben, with Sam's Disposal. It sounds like a swell company. Do you pick up in heaven? I might have to give you a call. See you next time for Talk Trash, folks. Don't forget to call Sam at 796-2952. Cubs win. Cubs win.
This just out, the average age of a vehicle on the road today is just over 11 years. That's impressive because it takes regular maintenance and solid repair work to keep a vehicle running well that long. At Quality Car and Truck Repair, that's what we do. We keep vehicles running their best for as long as possible. We're still changing oil, performing regular maintenance, and doing repairs on vehicles much older than that. Keep your vehicle in shape. Call Quality Car and Truck Repair, 220th Avenue and Perry, just west of 131, Big Rapids.
Hi, my name is Dr. Rachel Williams. I just opened a new family practice clinic, Williams Family Medical. I see all types of patients from birth to geriatrics. I came back to Big Rapids because I grew up in Big Rapids. I have roots here, my family is here, my parents are here, and I feel really strongly about serving this community. I originally thought I was going to be a physical therapist. I had looked at being a pharmacist, and then I realized as I looked into those programs that nothing held my attention the way that medicine did, of being the doctor. And being able to go to an area like Big Rapids, where I've worked in other rural health clinics, and being the doctor in a small area is a great way to serve the community. But there's also an intimacy that you get when you're somebody's doctor and you know them, and you know their family, and you know their history. It's a good way to make friends, you know? I am Dr. Rachel Williams. I opened a family medicine clinic here in downtown Big Rapids. You can call us at 616-570-4776. Find us on Facebook with Williams Family Medical or online williamsfamilymedical.com.
This is Cardinal Country. We have Josie Prince, joined by Braden Childress, Coach Ian James of Ferris State Softball.
Players, coaches, alumni. Coach Scarpelli gets the inside scoop on all things Big Rapids sports.
We get to go to my favorite sport. You decided you want to come out for baseball. So why did you want to come out for baseball senior year?
To be honest, because we lost to New City last game of basketball. So I couldn't go out with an L to them on my belt. Then that moves forward to my favorite game in baseball would be against them when I hit that home run.
Yep.
Their players were talking mess, which I didn't know people talk mess in baseball, but the players were talking mess to me, and I came out and hit a home run. So
watch Cardinal Country on Big Country's YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. Download the podcast at WBRN.com, at Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts. Cardinal Country is proudly sponsored by Johnson's Automotive, serving the area with honesty and integrity.
if Central Montcalm comes out on top of this game, you have to look at that first quarter. One pass for 43 yards that got them into scoring position, which led them to get that touchdown. Now a shanked extra point after that. But a 43-yard pass on what looked like a broken toss play comes back across the field, and it goes inside the 10-yard line. A tough play. Big Rapids held them for a couple plays, but could not keep them out of the end zone. Central Montcalm, really, besides that one pass play, hasn't had much going. Their leading rusher on the night is Mitchell Harold, 4 attempts, Hornets. Just like to remind you of tonight's game sponsors, Farmer Insurance Strickler Agency in downtown Big Rapids, Sam's Disposal, flat rates, no contracts, no hidden fees. Call 796-2952 today to start your service. Also, Bader & Sons, your local John Deere leader, outstanding in their field. Find out more at greentractors.com, and also stick around to find out more about this game. More in the Big Rapids Public Schools halftime report. We're going to take a break here from the Big Country Isabella Bank Sports Studio.
Home is where the heart is. Since 1903, we've called the heart of Michigan our home. When you bank with us, your money stays right here, invested back into the communities where we work, play, and live, promoting economic growth and community service. At Isabella Bank, we care about our community because this is our home too. Isabella Bank. Bank local, bank anywhere. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but they were wrong.
Ugh, I can't believe my car's struck by lightning twice. Now it doesn't start again.
Thankfully, the NAPA-certified techs at Johnson's Automotive in Big Rapids can fix electrical systems and starters, so our hero can get back on the road quickly.
Wow, it's almost like a total recall. Thankfully, I don't have to be a running man anymore.
Johnson's Automotive, fixing all foreign and domestic vehicles. Northland Drive, just south of the airport, Big Rapids.
Auto Owners Insurance and the Schuberg Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work for you to insure your home, auto, business, and life. To keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call the Schuberg Insurance Agency, located in downtown Big Rapids today, for a fast, free quote. 231-796-5881. Go Cards.
This just out, the average age of a vehicle on the road today is just over 11 years. That's impressive because it takes regular maintenance and solid repair work to keep a vehicle running well that long. At Quality Car and Truck Repair, that's what we do. We keep vehicles running their best for as long as possible. We're still changing oil, performing regular maintenance, and doing repairs on vehicles much older than that. Keep your vehicle in shape. Call Quality Car and Truck Repair, 220th Avenue and Perry, just west of 131, Big Rapids.
That ball off the ground. Mental focus was the name of the offseason for head coach Mike Seltzer. He said they had to get better on the mental focus aspect of things. They had to do a better job of fighting through adversity. And talking to him earlier this week, this is exactly what he was talking about. Coming out of the locker room into the second half, most times last year they were within a touchdown or leading going into halftime. If you looked at the scores from last year, you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell that. And now they have a chance to prove themselves in week 1, which technically on the schedule would look like week 3, and you're starting off the season in a conference game. So add all of that together, and this is a pretty impactful game in a 6-game regular season.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the Cardinals last year, we played 4 quarter games, not 2. So they got to show up for the 3rd and 4th this year. But I mean, like I said in the pregame show, this is every year to 2 years, you have a completely different team, completely different turnover of the roster and everything. And the Cardinals have such an abundance of young talent on this team, just pure athleticism, that it's just hard to imagine that they're going to allow anything like this to get away from them. I mean, you even take a guy like Will Strickler. Kid's just a competitor. I mean, I've seen him, almost to a detriment in baseball, where he just gets pissed at people, his own teammates included, just for not being competitive enough. He's just a competitor. And I think that's more of the culture that you're seeing on this team, because that younger class in particular, that's all they're used to winning. They're used to playing and winning and really competing hard. And and playing 400% every day, all the time. So I can't imagine this is going to be a two-quarter team like last year. And nothing against the team last year. It just didn't work out for them. But I just can't see it this year. So prove me right. Let's go, Cardinals.
Well, the play calling in the first half, it didn't look like they were running out of steam by any means. A couple of turnovers, like I mentioned earlier, one at about the 50-yard line, the other one at the 6, just before Big Rapids was trying to get into that end zone, really killed that drive. And also, you take a long play with the reverse and a long pass. This game could easily be 14-0, 21-0, or even 14-6 if that matter. But that's why you play the game. That's why you don't play it on paper. That's why you're out here on the field. And Big Rapids is doing just that tonight. And the reason that you're hearing Big Rapids tonight is because of some of these sponsors that are helping us bring you the game. Bader & Sons Company at greentractors.com. Outstanding in their field with sales of new and used John Deere farm and lawn equipment, parts, certified service technicians, plus brands like Steel and Air Rents. And also Johnson's Automotive Repair, always reliable. Johnson serves the community with honesty and integrity. Northland Drive, just south of the airport in Big Rapids. And also Sam's Disposal. Stop getting tossed around like trash. Flat rates, no contracts, no extra fees. And if you're not happy, they'll work with you to make it right. Call Sam's Disposal today. So both teams on the field right now stretching. About 30 seconds left until we start this second half of play. 7-6 the lead for Big Rapids over Central Montcalm. And it'll be interesting to see what they come onto that locker room with for both sides. That offense not really moving too well for the Hornets, not like what we saw from them last season. But Big Rapids, on the other hand, just has to hold on to the ball and get into the end zone. And this should be a very exciting game to watch in the second half. Both teams are very well in this game, and both teams looking to get off to a great start.
Let's do it. I mean, I'm sorry. I have so much excitement pent up in me that I just don't really know what to say. I just want to see it happen. I just want to see him play. Like, let's close this game out. Let's put up some more points. It's always tough for me to remember. It's week one. My expectations are always higher from the get-go, But man, it's just we need some points on the board early. We need the defense to continue to just shove, and I think that we can come away with this. And this is actually, some people don't really realize, but I think that I see this as an upset if the Cardinals can win, because the way I see it, Central Montcalm and Reed City are the two teams that were kind of expected to win this conference. But like you said, a short 6-game season, Cardinals can win this one. You're off and rolling. They got a tough schedule to open the season, but you're off and rolling.
First game, always so important. And here's Sam Alley to kick it away. This is a deep kick. It'll bounce at the 5 and roll into the end zone. No return there. And Sam Alley coming out, giving the boot the first time we've seen him tonight.
Maybe some frustration.
Kaboosh. Maybe. That had no doubt. You could tell the people in the back few rows just watched it roll into the end zone. They'll take over wherever the refs put it.
I actually know what it is now that I think about it. It's Coach Justin Fox. You see, Sam Alley, when football was canceled, played some soccer. So just a couple weeks with Justin the Golden Foot Fox, and all of a sudden Sam Alley's booming balls.
So 12 minutes up on the clock, 7-6 the lead for Big Rapids. First play, motion across, handoff going right. He'll break across the 20-yard line. They'll give him the 21. It's second down and 9 to go. So this defensive front by Big Rapids, and like we said, led by DJ Green Bay, getting some penetration. But him and Austin Manicky have really gotten a ton of penetration tonight. And it's been very easy for them to come up and make some stops. It's also that penetration is pushing them out to those cornerbacks, and the defensive backs are making run-stopping plays too. Olsen puts a motion from right to left, handoff straight up the middle, and no chance that's going anywhere. That brings up third down. Only 45 seconds in, and the Big Rapids defense making some big plays.
Got a scoring update down in Morley Stanley 2. 8-0 Eagles. But it looks like Chip Hills is still on top of the Coyotes. Slim. Thought it was 2018 last I saw. 28-16. Yes, sorry, I can't read.
Well, here from Top Tiger Field, we have a 7-6 game. Cardinals over the Hornets. Out of the shotgun, Olsen will take it. He rolls left, and he'll throw downfield. And the wide receiver turned into a defensive back. Extremely quick there. That was nearly an interception for Justin Gorchevich.
Telling you, man, that's a name you're going to be saying that name a lot all season long. Gorchevich is a heck of a player. Young man, he's just an athlete. You know, he's strong, he's fast, and right there he showed some of that pure athleticism. I mean, he can get up, but he almost had that. That could have been huge there.
10:34 left on the clock, and with the 3-and-out coming, here's the punt, 4th and 9 from the 21. It's away. It bounces at about the 50. It will keep rolling to the 30, and it will roll out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. That's where the officials will put it. So after we saw a poor punt the first time they had to, Central Montcalm comes back with a couple of nicer punts flipping field position.
Maybe Justin Fox wandered into the wrong locker room at halftime. Accidentally gave some kicking lessons to the wrong team.
Well, here's what we've been waiting to see what's going to happen. And we do see number 3 on the field in that huddle. So Sam Alley has entered the game for Big Rapids, missed the first half of play. And it looks like some Central Montcalm personnel having to cross the field.
Well, and I mean, that's a great job by Will Strickler filling for that half. Cardinals got on the board with someone who's been on this team for 10 minutes.
Alley takes a snap. He's getting rushed. He makes 3 men miss and dumps it off to Gorchevich, who takes a massive hit. He got back to about the 25. That'll be a loss of yardage and a massive hit.
Wow.
And that's Trey Chapin, who comes down and lowers the boom.
Number 3, Trey Chapin. Stop for the morning. 2nd and 15.
Justin Gorchevich,
man,
a junior, taking that hit.
Yeah, Trey Chapin, a senior. Man, I don't think he's phased, though. I don't think he cares.
Still out on the field. Alley in the gun. He's got 2 wide receivers to his left, a fullback to his left, and then his running back to his right. 2nd and 15 from the 25-yard line. Takes the snap, and it's a handoff to Gorchevich, and he'll be stopped for even more yardage.
And I gotta kind of put that on Sam right there, because this style offense at any given time, Sam has 2 to 3 options, and he had 2 defenders immediately biting down on his running back, yet he handed it off anyway. That's where you keep it and you cut up field immediately and just try to get something out of it. Said 3rd and 23. What? I mean, that's just got to be better than that. That's the entire purpose of this Veer offense right there, is you give options. You give multiple options to a quarterback. I mean, any play you call is really 3 or 4 plays. Just a bad read by Sam. First play out, though.
9:10 left on the clock. 3rd and 23. The snap is a handoff up the middle to Gorchevich, and he gets maybe a yard. So move it to 4th down and 22 from about the 19-yard line.
I mean, what else can you do? Just try to eat up a couple yards, kick it away, let that golden boot work again.
Well, we saw it on the kick. Now let's see if Alley has the same for the punt. Alley and Gorchevich are back deep. Back deep to receive is Fisher Hill. 8:30 on the clock. 4th and 21 from the 19-yard line. High snap. Alley controls it and gets the kick away. And this is another good boot. Takes a Hornet bounce back into Big Rapids territory. And they will set up at the 42-yard line as the Hornets offense comes back out. Besides the one pass play that we've referenced plenty of times already, haven't seen a ton of movement from this offense.
No, and let's see the defense put up another front here. I do have a question on our offense, though. If you have maybe 2 or 3 stalled drives where Sam kind of looks out of whack a little bit, if you're Coach Seltzer, do you go back to Will?
It's an interesting decision, and we'll be here to see what happens.
Yeah, but I want to know what Riley thinks.
We haven't seen enough of Sam Alley yet to know what Riley thinks yet.
He's at 3 plays. That's not enough.
And it's a quarterback keeper to the left side, and this time it's
quarterback keeper.
Not Cole Olson, it's Caleb Brooks in at quarterback. We've seen him in a couple times, and as Brooks tosses the ball to the referee, which isn't exactly supposed to happen this year, the ref just lets it bounce off his chest, and they throw it back into the Hornets huddle. 7:50 left on the clock, still ticking down in this third quarter. 7-6, Big Rapids leads Central Montcalm. It's Caleb Crooks again. He'll hand off up the middle, a spin move across the 35, and a good chunky yardage there on second down. That was Mitchell Harold, their leading rusher in the first half, comes out and shows it in the second half here with 7:20 left.
Third and short. 3rd and 2.
Third down and 2 yards to go. 34-yard line in Cardinals territory. You'd have to imagine if, for some reason, they don't get this first down here, that offense is staying on the field for 4th down.
Yeah. I mean, in high school, you don't usually have a Jason Hansen on your team or a Matt Prater or something like that, so it's 4-down territory.
Motion from right to left. Crooks will swing it out left. The pitch, and there's a big hit, but it will be enough for the first down. Coming up to make that play was Austin Venix, and he gets up a little slow, favoring that left ankle. The handoff, or the pitch, I should say, was to Mitchell Harold, and he got upended and fell across the first down marker. Those chains will move.
Yeah, it looks like they will sub out. Get Storms Williams in for Austin. Or check that. No, that's Jamal. No, 16. Is that 10? I can't read numbers, man.
It is 10. It was Austin Venix who basically collapses to the ground once he gets to the sideline. And there's a pass down the middle of the field, and it's nearly taken away by Xander Prince, who came across to help on that pass coverage and nearly came away from an interception. Crooks had the pass downfield and thought he had an open man at about the 10-yard line, but he was mistaken. So 2nd down and 10 from the 31-yard line. 6:11 left in this third quarter. 7-6 the lead for Big Rapids over Central Montcalm. Seen some great plays in that secondary by Austin Venix, who's been in some pass coverage, Jamal Strickland, Xander Prince. And there will be a timeout called on the field by Central Montcalm. So we'll step aside along with them. 30 seconds, and we're back here on Big Country 100.9.
Go the extra mile with Bader & Sons Company and the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. When other utility vehicles take a rain check, we help you take the wheel and enjoy the thrill of the ride. With factory-installed 3-wide seating, heating, and AC, the XUV 835 is our coolest, most comfortable Gator yet. Isn't it time you took a John Deere Gator for a test drive? To learn more, go to greentractors.com. From Southeast Michigan to the bridge, let the experts at Bader & Sons Company show you why we are outstanding in our field.
So 3rd down and 8, move it back 5 yards. 5:23 left on the clock in the third quarter. We saw Austin Vennick go to the sideline. Looked like he was in a bit of some pain. Well, good sign because he's back on the field right now.
Must have just been a cramp.
Must have been a cramp, and from what we could see from up here, the training staff got there pretty quickly to work on that left leg. .5:10 left on the clock and ticking down. It's 3rd and 13 from the 34. Saw a pass play earlier this drive that was nearly intercepted by Xander Prince. And Crooks is staying in at quarterback. Man in motion, the slot from right to left. Steps back, he throws it downfield. And it is hauled in for a first down and more by Trey Chapin.
To Chapin, complete inside the 10-yard.
What a catch by Chapin. In coverage there was Grant Kidder, who was in his face nearly the whole time. So it'll be a first down and goal from the 5-yard line. 4:42 left in this third quarter. Big defensive stand with their back to the end zone. Big Rapids hasn't been in this situation much this game. The snap, motion from left to right. It's a quarterback keeper. And there he is, DJ Green Bay coming through and making a tackle for a loss.
Number 74, DJ Green Bay on the tackle.
4:30 left. This clock keeps rolling when these teams keep the ball on the ground.
2nd and 7. Goal to go.
7-6. Cardinals right now, but Central Montcalm trying to change that. 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line. Couple of changes on offense here, although it looks like Caleb Crooks will stay in at quarterback. The junior taking over mostly this drive for Cole Olson, the senior quarterback. Tight ends on each side. 2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Crooks will roll left to the end zone. And the jump ball is caught by the Hornets. It's a touchdown, and they'll take the lead.
Complete touchdown. Hornets.
Looks like Fisher Hill who came down with that, and indeed it is.
Number 5, Fisher.
With 3:50 left in the third quarter. So with a 12-7 lead for the Hornets right now, here comes the question of how you deal with this extra point. They went out there, kicked before, and put it off the right upright. And it looks like they'll keep the offense on the field for 2. This will make it a 7-point game if they can get this in. Crooks puts a man in motion, and there is what looks to be a false start on the Hornets. And it will be a false start, so they'll move back 5 yards and have to decide what they're doing from there.
With the attempted extra point, it'll move it back 5 yards.
So 3:50 on the clock, a 12-7 lead after a false start that pushes them back on this extra point. And it looks like they threw off the flag, so they will stay at about the 3-yard line for this extra point. Crooks in the gun, 2 wide receivers to his right. He'll roll out right, getting hit, and a great break up there at the end zone, right in front of that pylon. It was Jamal Strickland that came across to swat it away.
My guy.
Well, that keeps the score 12-7, and that's a big stop there by the Big Rapids defense on that 2-point conversion. You let them score that makes it a 7-point game, which means you have to get that extra point through.
Cardinals we got to get on the board, though.
Does leave it up to this Big Rapids offense.
I mean, yeah. So,
a quick strike is always nice. Sam's pretty good at that, to be honest. He can do it with his legs. He can do it in the air. We saw him more than a few times last year do it with his legs, though. So let's just get him. I mean, he's just got to get in a rhythm, really. Coming in cold like that, I mean, you give Will a lot of credit in the first half. Coming in, stepping up like that, it's the same difficulty right now, though, for someone like Sam, despite his experience. I mean, you're coming off cold. Again, these guys had almost no time to prepare for the season, so then he's just got to get in rhythm, though. So hopefully he can do that in this drive. Start with a few first downs, turn it into a full-fledged drive.
3:50 left in this third quarter, still awaiting the kick. It's Caden Schoen, who kicks it straight to the 20-yard line. There it's picked up and stopped just shy of the 35-yard line. A pretty decent return there by Xavier Prince. And that is where the Cardinals will take over, 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. 3:43 left on the clock. It's a 12-7 lead for the Hornets. And now a senior quarterback coming onto the field in Sam Alley. You mentioned he can do a little bit of everything. On the ground last year, team's leading rusher, 740 yards on 151 attempts, went for 6 touchdowns. Also the same guy we saw 2 years ago make his first appearance on varsity as their kicker and punter. Alley in the gun, takes a snap. Quick pass right. He's got Kidder, who gets past the line of scrimmage. A stiff arm gains him a couple yards, and a great tackle made by Fisher Hill on the outside.
Boy, Grant breaks that. That's a first down, easy. Oh, that was a nice tackle.
He had a hand planted right to his chest, but Fisher Hill held on and brought him to the ground. Brings up 2nd and 6 from the 38-yard line. Cardinals up to the line. Blue uniforms, white accent, helmets with the white, and almost a chrome-looking Cardinal on the side. From the gun, Alley takes a snap, hands it right up the middle, and it won't go for much. They'll give him about 2 yards on this play, got across the 40, and that'll bring up 2nd down and about 4 yards to go.
So you can always live with these short yardage, third down opportunities.
Cardinals are looking at.
It's like I said, it's just the third and infinities that you can't survive on. And so far, the Cardinals, penalty-wise, pretty good. And it gives some of your offensive weapons like Alley and Gorchevitz and them a chance.
So the snap to Alley. He takes it himself, left side. He breaks through the line. That's enough for a first down, and he's brought down just shy of the 50. And they'll actually give him that 50-yard line. So right at midfield, with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in this third quarter, the chains move, and the Cardinals trying to get into Hornet territory.
He just had to get loose. Just had to stretch it out a little bit.
Haven't seen him use those legs much. We didn't see him for the first half. Will Strickler took over, led them to one passing touchdown, but not a ton else in that first half. A couple of turnovers on some snaps. Alley takes a snap. He'll keep it himself. He's outside to the hash, to the numbers. He's running across the 45, and he's brought down at about the 41-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and maybe a yard to go.
This is good recognition by Coach Pedigo and the coaching staff here, because Central Montcalm clearly just stopping up the middle. Start using Sam along the edges, loosen up the middle. The Hornets will have to make an adjustment, and when they do, Gorchevitz running down their throat, something like that will start working a little bit better. But that's the dynamic ability. Go with that. Of Sam Allen and what he offers. He can do a quick pass inside like he did a couple plays ago. He can run it around the edge like he's done the last 2 plays.
Alley has Venix to his left and in front of him. Gorchevitz to his right. He's got 2 wide receivers split wide left, and he takes it, little swing pass left, and there's Kidder who gets past the 35 and nearly to the 30. That ball hit the turf, and Central Montcalm is pointing their way, and so are the officials. And there's another turnover for Big Rapids on a drive that looked like it had some wheels on it. It was moving. That would have been a first down and 10 from about the 30-yard line. Instead, it's a turnover, and there goes that drive for Big Rapids. Stops the clock with 1 minute and 18 seconds left in the third quarter. A 12-7 lead for the Hornets.
I think Coach Seltzer's reaching for his red flag. It's just not there. I don't know. I thought he was down, right?
It was a bang-bang play. I'm not an official, though. You got to stop asking me these questions.
Well, that's why you're here, Riley.
From the gun, Crooks will hand it off left to a man in motion. He gets out to the numbers.
Right.
Oh, looked like he was going to break forward there, but a good tackle for a loss. And look who that is. Jamal Strickland in the backfield.
My guy.
Bringing him down for a loss of 1. That'll be second down and 11. 60 seconds left in this third quarter.
2 terms on that play right there by Jamal. Ankle pursuit, closing speed. Used them both. Man. Yeah, I thought they had him back there for, what, a 6-yard loss, 7-yard loss maybe. Broke free. He might break something big now. Nope. That secondary stepped up yet again.
Crooks in the gun, puts a motion from left to right. And there's a toss and another tackle for a loss of yardage. Clogging up holes. There it is. Jamal Strickland coming in on the run support again. Makes it a third down and even longer. They'll give him third down and 13 from the 28-yard line. 15 seconds left in this third quarter, and that may be the last play that we've seen for this third quarter.
Yeah, the Hornets they don't look like they're running anything else. They got nothing, though. They just got nothing going on. That's great penetration at the front line, for the Cardinals, which allows the DBs to come up to press.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
So a 12-7 lead by the Hornets. When we come back, we'll see if the officials flip the field this time. And we'll get back to some more football. 60 seconds, and we have more right here on Big Country 100.9.
Home is where the heart is. Since 1903, we've called the heart of Michigan our home. When you bank with us, your money stays right here, invested back into the communities where we work, play, and live, promoting economic growth and community service. At Isabella Bank, we care about our community because this is our home too. Isabella Bank. Bank local, bank anywhere. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Go the extra mile with Bader & Sons Company and the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. When other utility vehicles take a rain check, we help you take the wheel and enjoy the thrill of the ride. With factory-installed 3-wide seating, heating, and AC, the XUV 835 is our coolest, most comfortable Gator yet. Isn't it time you took a John Deere Gator for a test drive? To learn more, go to greentractors.com. From Southeast Michigan to the bridge, let the experts at Bader & Sons Company show you why we are outstanding in our field.
Was really productive runner for the Hornets in that first half. He's showing it again here.
First and 10 Hornets on their own 31-yard line.
Whistle blows. Here goes the clock. Crooks, same formation, same motion from left to right. The only difference this time is some laundry on the field before the play starts. So first and 10 from the 31. Flag here. And it looks like it's against Big Rapids. So moving forward 5 yards. Second down and 5.
5 yards. First and 5.
Another penalty in this, hurting Big Rapids. Hasn't been the one thing that's changed the game for them. They've also put the ball on the ground 3 different times. But the penalties obviously do not help. 8.5 minutes left in the game. Central Montcalm gets a first down. Now a penalty. It's first down and 5. Same play, same motion. It's a toss right, cutting it back towards the middle of the field. And there's pretty much the whole Big Rapids defense. Ball looked like it popped out. Big Rapids players were pointing towards their side of the field, but it didn't happen. And Jeff, I want you to give me a name on that Cardinals defense that wasn't in on that tackle. Pretty much everybody up front.
I believe Sam Alley was not, and David Miller.
Okay. Looking on the sidelines, I see what's going on. He got me there. 7:50 left. With how much running is going on in this game, we've obviously seen Big Rapids can pass the ball, but has to be concerning how much time is coming off the clock in this fourth quarter as there's a handoff up the middle, and there's the defense again. Austin Venix came through and got some penetration. Also, Kyson Storm Williams from that linebacker position coming in and making a stop as well. Those linebackers have been quick to read where that ball's going, which isn't always easy with an offense like Central Montcalm. A lot of motion, a lot of moving pieces on offense, and some guys who are frankly very quick.
Yeah,
the secondary and linebacker core has done a good job.
I know it's not even the end of the first game of the season here, but this is already one of my favorite defenses that I've seen the Cardinals put out in a while.
They've been energetic. Get to the ball quick. Crooks in the gun, tosses left, and there's another big loss. And coming through, Austin Manecki. And that brings up fourth down. And what looked like a somewhat promising drive from the start there. A few good plays from the Hornets. All of a sudden turns to back loss of yardage plays. And now they're going to have to punt. 4th and 14 from their own 27. 6:15 left on the clock in the fourth quarter, and Jamal Strickland back to return. Ooh. And the punt nearly blocked. It gets down across the 45 and will take a Hornets roll into Big Rapids territory, but it looks like they'll mark it at about the 50-yard line. 50 yards between Big Rapids and the end zone.
Home is where the heart is. Since 1903, we've called the heart of Michigan our home. When you bank with us, your money stays right here, invested back into the communities where we work, play, and live, promoting economic growth and community service. At Isabella Bank, we care about our community because this is our home too. Isabella Bank. Bank local, bank anywhere. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but they were wrong.
I can't believe my car's struck by lightning twice. Now it doesn't start again.
Thankfully, the NEPA-certified techs at Johnson's Automotive in Big Rapids can fix electrical systems and starters, so our hero can get back on the road quickly.
Wow, it's almost like a total recall. Thankfully, I don't have to be a running man anymore.
Johnson's Automotive, fixing all foreign and domestic vehicles. Northland Drive, just south of the airport, Big Rapids.
So back up to the line of scrimmage. Only thing different is this time it's first down and 15 after the false start. From the 45-yard line, Alley in the gun, running back to his left, full back to his right. Snap, handoff up the middle. Gorchevich will get a yard. With a forward progress, they will give him a yard. So it's 2nd down and 14. Clock ticking down, 5 minutes and 40 seconds now.
Brock Ryan and others.
Central Montcalm, the only one of the two teams to take a timeout in this second half. Big Rapids still has all three. Cardinals flock back up to the line. Alley is running back to his right, full back to his left. 2 wide receivers split right. Is Kidder will take another hitch pass. He gets out and moves forward to the 50. This will make it a more manageable 3rd down as he gets into Hornet territory. But they're going to mark him down at the 48-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and about 8 to go. 4:45, and this is one of the bigger plays of the night right here. Not a great team on 3rd down last season. Out of 100 chances, only converted 33 times. Need 8 yards to move the chain. Wide receiver split up to both sides. Running back and fullback to the left. Sam Alley will keep it. He makes a cut towards the outside across the 40-yard line. He's brought down, and that will be more than enough for a 1st down. Deeper into Hornet territory at the 47-yard line. Excuse me, the 37-yard line. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. Still a 5-point lead for the Hornets, 12-7. And the officials calling time here. As it looks like the center, Brett Martin, will have to come out of the game. Helmet may have come off on the last play. So a switch here. Alley in the gun. Gorchevich to his left. And he'll end up pulling it out. A man had already tackled, basically, Gorchevich in the backfield, and he'll scramble forward for about 2 yards. So making something out of literally nothing for Alley in that backfield keeps this drive moving. 2nd down and 8 from the 35. About 3.5 minutes left in this game. As that time clicks down, this drive becomes more important for Big Rapids. Jamal Strickland split wide right, closest to the right side of the field. Slot receiver Grant Kidder on this side, nobody out left. Running back to the right is Kidder, motions from right to left. And it'll be a keeper by Alley who scrambles up the middle and falls across the 30-yard line. They'll give him the 30, and that brings up 3rd down and short. 3rd down and 3 yards to go with 3 minutes left on the clock. Big Rapids needs a touchdown on this drive if they're going to keep moving this slowly and eating up clock. Strickland and Kidder will split out left. Check that. Strickland moves to the near sideline. Alley will take a hitch pass through the defense to Kidder, who is upended after about a half-yard gain. And that brings up 4th down and short. Stops the clock with 2:29 left as it looks like there's a timeout called by Big Rapids. The most crucial point of this game so far, a big 4th down. Inability to stay on the field after 3rd down, just 33 out of 100 times that they do that. But you look at the 4th down conversions last year. Out of 25 times, they were able to convert 9, and hoping that this is going to be a good start on 4th down for the season.
They need it. I mean, it's time to produce right here, Cardinals. You need 3 yards. I mean, how are you going to get it? Anyway, anyhow. Let's see what Coach Pedigo and Coach Seltzer cook up here.
And you have to wonder what this would look like if they didn't have so many penalties on the field during this drive, or really the rest of the game. Their offense has moved fluently, but So many false start penalties and a couple holds in there. Saw an unfortunate face mask on Sam Alley as he was trying to fend off a defender from getting sacked. They just can't keep that little yellow flag off the field. 2:29 left in the fourth. 4th down and 3 yards to go. The snap, it'll be a keeper. Sam Alley, he's cutting towards the 30. He gets to cross, and he reaches the ball forward, and this is going to be extremely close. Oh, wow. They're probably going to have to bring the chains out to look at this one. Sam Alley had to outrun basically that entire defensive line.
Gave it to him.
First down.
And the whole Central Montcalm defense thought that they were calling that short. And there's head coach Scott Kripe talking to the officials as Big Rapids was walking off the field.
I was looking at that official, and that did not look like first down. I mean, that looks very close. It looks
now they're going to bring out the chains as this probably should have been done before they made a call in the field.
Yeah, get everyone all jazzed up on it.
Central Montcalm was walking off thinking they had a game-winning defensive drive.
What an effort by Sam right there, though. I mean, it was like him versus the world just to get 3 yards.
Oh, and the officiating crew had to get right down in there. No use of an envelope to see if they could get in between there, but just vision from, 2 feet away. He got right down in there, and that's a first down, so the chains move. First down and 10. They'll mark them out at the 27-yard line.
Boy, and you know that must have been millimeters, because usually when they sit that chain down right in front of the team that's waiting for it, they all go nuts. No one went nuts. No one reacted.
I saw one hand point towards the end zone they're driving towards, and even that didn't look so certain.
No.
But they stay on the field. They convert 4th down.
Big time.
They had to get 3 yards, and Sam Alley had to do everything he could to get there.
What a
First down and 10. On the 27-yard line, Kidder motion from left to right. Gorchevitz gets a handoff up the middle. And it's fumbled. Immediately, Central Montcalm was excited, and Gorchevitz slowly walking off the field. That's fumble number 4.
Oh, no.
And what a tough game to be on that Cardinals side of the field. So many promising drives and good plays.
Hornets take over.
Really just made nothing by fumbles. And you have to wonder, being basically canceled for so long, being brought back 10 days ago on September 8th, how comfortable the centers, the running backs, the quarterbacks are with each other. We saw a little bit of that in the first half with Will Strickler, but Sam Alley just coming in to play the second half. It'll be a handoff up the middle for Montcalm and rolling forward to the 30 and still coming forward. They'll give him maybe an extra yard on that to the 31, brings up second down. 1:54 left in the game. 2 timeouts left for Big Rapids. Same for Central Montcalm.
Home is where the heart is. Since 1903, we've called the heart of Michigan our home. When you bank with us, your money stays right here, invested back into the communities where we work, play, and live, promoting economic growth and community service. At Isabella Bank, we care about our community because this is our home too. Isabella Bank. Bank local, bank anywhere.
Auto Owners Insurance and the Schuberg Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work for you to insure your home, auto, business, and life. To keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call the Schuberg Insurance Agency, located in downtown Big Rapids today, for a fast, free quote. 231-796-5881. Go Cards.
Go the extra mile with Bader & Sons Company and the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. When other utility vehicles take a rain check, we help you take the wheel and enjoy the thrill of the ride. With factory-installed 3-wide seating, heating, and AC, the XUV 835 is our coolest, most comfortable Gator yet. Isn't it time you took a John Deere Gator for a test drive? To learn more, go to greentractors.com. From Southeast Michigan to the Bridge, let the experts at Bader & Sons Company show you why we are outstanding in our field.
Between the Hornets and the
Cardinals again.
There's still time left. I mean, if you can get this stop here, they'll probably punt it. And then, this offense has the capability of some big plays. So let Sam use his arm, air it out a little bit, see if Jamal can run one down. And there's a ton of assets on this team to use for a quick strike. But it starts right here.
Well, the only thing that stands between the end of the game and seeing this Big Rapids offense again is 3 yards. 3rd down and 3 from the 32-yard line. Crooks in the pistol, calls motion from left to right. They'll hand off straight up the middle, and there's the Big Rapids defensive front, and there's a stop for a loss of yardage. Take away about 3 yards and bring up 4th down.
So that's going to be a loss for the Hornets.
4th down and about 6 to go. And now here's the decision of how this works. They're going to have to pay very close attention to the officials to make sure there's no delay of game, but you have to guess they're running every second out of this clock that they can. No timeouts left for Big Rapids. Central Montcalm does have 2, but there's a minute 15 left and still ticking down. A few different players on that Hornets side looking at that clock. The punt across the 50 takes a Big Rapids roll.
It's going to end up just the other side of 50. That's how far.
And actually it rolls back into their own territory and will be down to 46. A lot of Big Rapids players close to that punt at the end. Dangerous. You've seen a lot of bad things happen that way, but nothing hurt here. The offense back on the field. Have to give a lot of credit to the defense in this game. It's only 12-7. This offense has had 4 different turnovers by putting the ball on the ground. 57 seconds. It's 1st and 10 from their own 46. And Alley in the gun. He'll have trips out left, 1 wide receiver right. That's Strickland by himself alone on the right side of the field. And quickly before that play is called, there's a timeout by Central Montcalm.
Central Montcalm football, Michigan Sports Radio.
So just 1 timeout left by Central Montcalm. And
hey, folks, it's your favorite announcer, Harry Carey, with Sam's Disposal. I just wanted to remind you that Sam's Disposal is the area's leader in garbage service. Hey! They have flat rates and no contracts with no hidden fees. Call Sam's today at 796-2952. Cubs win. Cubs win. Hey, everybody. I heard the moon was made of Swiss cheese.
to find some gaps in that defense, but there certainly weren't any there towards that Big Rapids sideline.
Coming down to the wire. Yeah, no kidding. This is the part you want to watch.
Hornets defense set up on the Bulldog of the middle of Top Taggart Field.
Big Rapids looking at a second.
Cardinals still slightly in their own territory. Ball at the 47. Second down and 27. Alley in the gun. Fullback Venix to his right. Trips left. He takes the snap, and another whistle before the play. And a delay of game on Big Rapids. They'll replay second down and basically lose 3 yards after a 2-yard play on first down.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some way we can pull this game off, it's a little bit in spite of ourselves at this point.
So again, no change in the clock.
And Central Montcalm has done what they can to stop this Cardinals defense. With them putting the ball on the ground so much, it's worked. But Big Rapids has to beat Big Rapids first. Alley in the gun has to step up. Another rusher, and he'll get him on the sack. 17 seconds left. They're going to have to run back to the line of scrimmage, and that might be the last play we see. 9 left on the clock. Fourth quarter here. 4 seconds, 3, and trying to clock the ball there.
And they're going to run it off.
And that's how
and it'll run off.
Central Montcalm defeats Big Rapids tonight.
So that's it. Big Rapids had many chances to get into the end zone in this fourth quarter, let alone the whole game. And Central Montcalm comes out, wins their first game of the season, 12-7.
I mean, that was despite ourselves right there. We could have won that game. I think one side of the ball played exceptionally well. The other side of the ball just got in front of themselves.
Once again, your final score, 12-7, Central Montcalm over Big Rapids. We'll take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back for the postgame report right here on Big Country 100.9 from the Isabella Bank Sports Studios.
Home is where the heart is. Since 1903, we've called the heart of Michigan our home. When you bank with us, your money stays right here, invested back into the communities where we work, play, and live, promoting economic growth and community service. At Isabella Bank, we care about our community because this is our home too. Isabella Bank. Bank local, bank anywhere. Member FDIC.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but they were wrong.
I can't believe my car's struck by lightning twice. Now it doesn't start again.
Thankfully, the NEPA-certified techs at Johnson's Automotive in Big Rapids can fix electrical systems and starters, so our hero can get back on the road quickly.
Wow, it's almost like a total recall. Thankfully, I don't have to be a running man anymore.
Johnson's Automotive, fixing all foreign and domestic vehicles. Northland Drive, just south of the airport, Big Rapids.
Auto Owners Insurance and the Schuberg Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work for you to insure your home, auto, business, and life. To keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call the Schuberg Insurance Agency, located in downtown Big Rapids today, for a fast, free quote. 231-796-5881. Go Cards.
This just out, the average age of a vehicle on the road today is just over 11 years. That's impressive because it takes regular maintenance and solid repair work to keep a vehicle running well that long. At Quality Car and Truck Repair, that's what we do. We keep vehicles running their best for as long as possible. We're still changing oil, performing regular maintenance, and doing repairs on vehicles much older than that. Keep your vehicle in shape. Call Quality Car and Truck Repair, 220th Avenue and Perry, just west of 131, Big Rapids.
Your car's transmission. It can be your best friend or your worst nightmare. One day you're cruising along without a care in the world. The next day your car is about as mobile as a big old hog on a hot summer day. Thankfully, the NAPA certified techs at Paris Auto Sales and Service of Big Rapids specialize in fixing and rebuilding transmissions. They'll make sure your car runs so smooth you'd think it was a pickup line from Patrick Swayze. Paris Auto Sales and Service of Big Rapids, Northland Drive, just north of the airport. Schedule your appointment online at parisautosales.br.net.
Hey, folks, it's your favorite announcer, Harry Carey, with Sam's Disposal. I just wanted to remind you that Sam's Disposal is the area's leader in garbage service. Hey, they have flat rates and no contracts with no hidden fees. Call Sam's today at 796-2952. Cubs win. Cubs win. Hey, everybody, I heard the moon was made of Swiss cheese.
Go the extra mile with Bader & Sons Company and the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. When other utility vehicles take a rain check, we help you take the wheel and enjoy the thrill of the ride. With factory-installed 3-wide seating, heating, and AC, the XUV 835 is our coolest, most comfortable Gator yet. Isn't it time you took a John Deere Gator for a test drive? To learn more, go to greentractors.com. From Southeast Michigan to the bridge, let the experts at Bader & Sons Company show you why we are outstanding in our field.
And expect to win games. So, 12-7. How many total yards did they have?
Well, on the ground, they got 128. And then you also have to look through the air where they threw for 75. So, a little over 200 yards offensively. But how many more could that have been if that ball didn't end up on the ground? One towards midfield.
Lost. And it was frustrating to watch and to have these plays just come to a close the way they did. But they actually played well when they didn't make those mistakes. I mean, you take out the false start. You take out – I'm not even going to count that penalty on Sam, too. I mean, that's just one of those freak things.
A face mask in defense.
He's just fighting for his life, and what are you going to do? So you can't really put that on him. But, a lot of those penalties, it's like in between that and even on the plays that they fumbled the ball, like Grant's fumble down here on the 20. It was an absolutely ridiculous play. He broke out for like 10, 15 yards, was breaking through tackles. I mean, the kid was red hot anytime he had the ball in his hands. But ball security. Cardinals just need to – go buy a bunch of clubs and just have these running backs run through a gauntlet where everyone just tries to knock the ball out with a freaking, billy club or something. I don't know. You got to do something to lock the balls up. But there's so much positive that you can actually take out of this game. I mean, again, you give up 12 points. And again, it's pretty good. Central Montcalm can score points historically. 12 points. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good start. You could even say, I would even argue that the offense always has the advantage coming out without preparation time. Defense is way harder than offense. Offense, you have the element of surprise, and the defense still came out. So, that's a huge plus. Another plus, you had Will that stepped up in the first half, I thought played exceptionally well. And then in the second half, you had Sam, who got his legs stretched out after 3 downs there. And then it was a world beater after that, right? I mean, there's a lot good to look at. You have Jamal's play down there. Unfortunately, it was nullified. There's so much positive that came out of this game. It's just that you make those mistakes that separate a winning team from a losing team, and that's the scoreboard.
There was positives to take off of both sides of the ball. Defense overall looked very good for Big Rapids. Offense obviously has some holes to patch up before they come out for their next game. Let's take a look at some stats and some scoring here. First score of the game was a Will Strickler pass to Grant Kidder for about a 20-yard touchdown on a swing pass. Nice play. They got them started. But unfortunately, that would be the last time they've scored tonight. The second quarter with 11:56 left, it was Jordan Gross who ran in for Central Montcalm for a touchdown. They wouldn't get the extra point on either, leaving them with 12 and also leaving the door open for one score to basically win this game for Big Rapids. They tack on that second touchdown with 3 minutes left, or 3:50 left in the third quarter. Individually, Justin Gorchevich led the rushing attempts with 15 of them and 51 yards. Leading in yards was Sam Alley. He ran 11 times for 70 yards, about 6.5 yards per carry. Will Strickler also had 22 yards on 6 carries. Allie finished 9 for 9 through the air for 22 yards, along with 8 on the completion. And then Will Strickler finished 4 of 8, had the interception on a tough pass, but also a touchdown pass to Grant Kidder that we had mentioned. Grant Kidder had a great day receiving-wise, 7 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown, that 20-yarder, his longest for that touchdown. Austin Venix had 2 catches for 22. Jamal Strickland had 2 catches for 14. And that's really about all that offense has to show. I mean, some good numbers there, but you'd like to see them get in the end zone a little bit more.
That's it. Individually, some pretty eye-popping numbers there, especially from Sam for only a half. But, I mean, we didn't score in the second half when our offense was blown up. If you have a half where you have 5 yards of offense but you score 5 touchdowns, you have a better half, right? So at the end of the day, it's just, how are we going to get in the end zone? What are we going to do? And you feel like, you're talking about a couple guys. Seems like they're doing all that they can do. We need a full team effort here. And I hate to put blame on any one person. You win and you lose as a team. Football's a team sport, But you got to have the whole team step up, right? I mean, you're reading off these stats. A guy like Sam came in ice cold from halftime. What else could he do, right? A guy like Grant plays his heart out every time, making plays. He makes one mistake. What can you do? You pick him up. And they did pick him up. Jamal had that catch down there, but you're just getting in. I mean, we're just going around in circles now. You're just getting away with yourself. It's just frustrating to watch. They had it.
Well, just to settle you down a little bit, let's move into the Big Country weather update for your drive home. If you just so happen to be listening in the car, it's clear, but it will be chilly. 45 degrees in Big Rapids. It'll get a little bit cooler as the night goes on. About a low of 32. Getting down there this time. But also, have to give another shout out to tonight's game sponsors: Farmers Insurance Strickler Agency in downtown Big Rapids, Sam's Disposal, flat rates, no contracts, no hidden fees. Call 796-2952 today to start your service. And also Bader & Sons, your local John Deere dealer, outstanding in their field. Find out more at greentractors.com. And also, throughout the game, helping us bring you this broadcast, the Schuberg Insurance Agency, Quality Car and Truck Repair, Williams Family Medical, Isabella Bank, Johnson's Automotive Repair, Big Rapids Public Schools, and Paris Auto Sales and Service. Don't have a ton else to talk about tonight. Final score 12-7. We'll be back on the air again next week, September 25th. For a game that doesn't get any easier. You move from Central Montcalm, who finished 7-3 last year. Their only loss in conference was to Reed City. That was a tough game, 34-6 in favor of Reed City. Have to see how that game ended tonight in terms of Chip Hills and Reed City.
For the Warriors. Really? Yeah, the Kyles just kept piling it on. When I glanced at the Facebook live feed from Y102 and James and Bastian, I mean, Coyotes were even going to the air at that point. So, yeah, Reed City, slow start. Warriors off to a strong start, but they just couldn't. It looks like they couldn't sustain. So, yeah, Reed City kind of back to their old ways. So it's not going to be easy. Now, it's never easy. It hasn't been easy for literally a decade. The Rapids hasn't won against Reed City in a decade, right? So this would be a great year to change that.
Well, they'll have a chance to test it out against the Wing T and the Coyotes September 25th right here on Big Country 100.9. Have the pregame right around 6:45 before tip-off, or kickoff, I should say. We're not playing basketball, but football.
We could, I guess.
Yeah, we could. You never know. But that's the next time you'll hear from us once again for the final time from Ferris State University tonight. Your final score, Central Montcalm 12, Big Rapids 7. And that's about it. That's all we have from Big Country 100.9 and the Isabella Bank Sports Studio.
Okay. I'm sure I got to use the one that was. It goes inside.
Home is where the heart is. Since 1903, we've called the heart of Michigan our home. When you bank with us, your money stays right here, invested back into the communities where we work, play, and live, promoting economic growth and community service. At Isabella Bank, we care about our community because this is our home too. Isabella Bank. Bank local, bank anywhere. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Auto Owners Insurance and the Schuberg Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work for you to insure your home, auto, business, and life. To keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call the Schuberg Insurance Agency, located in downtown Big Rapids today, for a fast, free quote. 231-796-5881. Go Cards.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but they were wrong.
I can't believe my car's struck by lightning twice. Now it doesn't start again.
Thankfully, the Napa-certified techs at Johnson's Automotive in Big Rapids can fix electrical systems and starters, so our hero can get back on the road quickly.
Wow, it's almost like a total recall. Thankfully, I don't have to be a running man anymore.
Johnson's Automotive, fixing all foreign and domestic vehicles. Northland Drive, just south of the airport, Big Rapids.
Go the extra mile with Bader & Sons Company and the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. When other utility vehicles take a rain check, we help you take the wheel and enjoy the thrill of the ride. With factory-installed 3-wide seating, heating, and AC, the XUV 835 is our coolest, most comfortable Gator yet. Isn't it time you took a John Deere Gator for a test drive? To learn more, go to greentractors.com. From Southeast Michigan to the bridge, let the experts at Bader & Sons Company show you why we are outstanding in our field.
Not everyone learns best in a classroom or has the time or resources to attend a school. If you're one of those people, the Big Rapids Virtual School is your path to graduate high school. The Virtual School uses new and emerging technologies, allowing students to work towards their diploma anytime, any place, any way, and any pace. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week, students can access class materials, listen to lectures, complete assignments. Plus, the lab is available 39 hours per week where students can work and ask teachers for help. For more information about Big Rapids Virtual School,
your car's transmission. It can be your best friend or your worst nightmare. One day you're cruising along without a care in the world. The next day your car is about as mobile as a big old hog on a hot summer day. Thankfully, the Napa certified techs at Paris Auto Sales and Service of Big Rapids specialize in fixing and rebuilding transmissions. They'll make sure your car runs so smooth you'd think it was a pickup line from Patrick Swayze. Paris Auto Sales and Service of Big Rapids, Northland Drive, just north of the airport. Schedule your appointment online at parisautosales.br.net.
Hey, everybody! Harry Carey here for Talk Trash. Our first guest is Ben from Sam's Disposal. So Ben, why haven't you raised your rates in over 10 years? It seems to be all the rage now.
Well, Mr. Carey, that's a great question. You see, my father Sam always said...
Sam? Now that's a great name. I once knew a man named Sam Toothpick Jones. They called him Toothpick because he was curious like a cat. Say, have you ever seen the movie Son of Sam?
Yeah, actually.
It is a great show. Well, anyway, that's neither here nor there. Hey, Ben, tell me, how do you stay in business with flat rates without any hidden fees? Seems like all your competitors always stick it to you when you don't see it coming.
Now, that's another great question, Harry.
Well, that's the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us, Ben, with Sam's Disposal. It sounds like a swell company. Do you pick up in heaven? I might have to give you a call. See you next time for Talk Trash, folks. Don't forget to call Sam at 796-2952. Cubs win. Cubs win.
This just out, the average age of a vehicle on the road today is just over 11 years. That's impressive because it takes regular maintenance and solid repair work to keep a vehicle running well that long. At Quality Car and Truck Repair, that's what we do. We keep vehicles running their best for as long as possible. We're still changing oil, performing regular maintenance, and doing repairs on vehicles much older than that. Keep your vehicle in shape. Call Quality Car and Truck Repair, 220th Avenue and Perry, just west of 131, Big Rapids.
Hi, my name is Dr. Rachel Williams. I just opened a new family practice clinic, Williams Family Medical. I see all types of patients from birth to geriatrics. I came back to Big Rapids because I grew up in Big Rapids. I have roots here, my family is here, my parents are here, and I feel really strongly about serving this community. I originally thought I was going to be a physical therapist. I had looked at being a pharmacist, and then I realized as I looked into those programs that nothing held my attention the way that medicine did, of being the doctor. And being able to go to an area like Big Rapids, where I've worked in other rural health clinics, and being the doctor in a small area is a great way to serve the community. But there's also an intimacy that you get when you're somebody's doctor and you know them and you know their family and you know their history. It's a good way to make friends, you know? I am Dr. Rachel Williams. I opened a family medicine clinic here in downtown Big Rapids. You can call us at 616-570-4776. Find us on Facebook with Williams Family Medical or online williamsfamilymedical.com.
This is Cardinal Country. We have Josie Prince, joined by Braden Childress, Coach Ian James of Ferris State Softball.
Players, coaches, alumni. Coach Scarpelli gets the inside scoop on all things Big Rapids sports.
We get to go to my favorite sport. You decided you want to come out for baseball. So why did you want to come out for baseball senior year?
To be honest, because we lost to New City last game of basketball. So I couldn't go out with an L to them on my belt. Then that moves forward to my favorite game in baseball would be against them when I hit that home run.
Yep.
Their players were talking mess, which I didn't know people talk mess in baseball, but the players were talking mess to me, and then I came out and hit a home run. So
watch Cardinal Country on Big Country's YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. Download the podcast at WBRN.com, at Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts. Cardinal Country is proudly sponsored by Johnson's Automotive, serving the area with honesty and integrity.